Marks 3 months since this summer's floods, which took a big toll on Plainfield. And last week, Hurricane Helene clobbered western North Carolina.
So how are North Carolina and Vermont, two so-called climate havens, adapting to this new normal from climate change? Our Calvin Cutler shows us.
We're absolutely certain to see that much water come through the middle of town again.
This summer, the remnants of Beryl plowed through the Northeast, dumping up to 8 inches of rain in less than 12 hours, sweeping away homes, bridges, and lives. Plainfield Emergency Management Director Michael Billingsley shows us where the Great Brook roared through town, causing over $18 million in damage, displacing dozens of neighbors.
Similarly here, the water went right in through those windows.
Asheville, North Carolina, which is similar to Vermont in many ways, saw devastation from Hurricane Helene. Beryl, Helene, and even Tropical Storm Irene dropping heavy rains in the mountains, turning small streams into roaring torrents.
Everywhere has some sort of hazard that we should know about and therefore be prepared to either mitigate against or adapt to.
State climatologist Dr. Leslie Ann Dupini-Giroux says Vermont and North Carolina, once thought of by some as climate havens, face their own climate challenges. Torrential downpours in the hills and mountains causing massive damage downstream. But she adds, we're learning more about flooding and resiliency by the day.
So let's learn from what's happened in the past. Let's see if we can do something a little bit differently, so that we don't keep repeating the cycle.
All in all, about 30 homeowners have applied for buyouts through FEMA, which will take a huge hit to the town's grand list. However, leaders here tell me that they're starting a long-term planning process to move the village center out of the floodplain.
Which is rather dramatic, but we've suffered floods here in Plainfield to such serious and frequent occasions that we can't see it paying off to stay where we are.
Billingsley says he's also talking with officials in North Carolina and sharing ideas about what long-term recovery and resiliency looks like. He says the community is working together to build new infrastructure and homes out of the floodplain within a decade.
The mood here is actually somewhat optimistic, considering how devastating this has been.
Plainfield is one of 3 communities nationwide that the University of Connecticut and Yale University is studying in how to make communities sustainable in the face of climate change. Reporting in Plainfield, Calvin Cutler, Channel 3 News.